A lot of players are frustrated with the Criminal Enterprises update for GTA Online because most of the content is drip-fed content, which means that it isn't actually in the game yet. But on the plus side, it does mean that we do have more content coming to GTA Online very shortly. And in this video, we're going to go through all of the future content we'll be getting. But before you get into all of that, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content just like this. So, getting into the video. So the first bit of future content that has arrived with the Criminal Enterprises update that we're going to talk about is the car dealership. Now, this might not be the first thing that arrives. There's no order here of what arrives when because there's no way of knowing unless Rockstar told us. But they haven't, so we don't know. But yeah, first thing we're going to talk about, the car dealership. Now this is something really wanted by players, and it does look very, very cool. Unfortunately, you won't be able to go inside the car dealership. You'll walk up to the window, and then you'll purchase the car from the window. However, this is something that we haven't had in GTA Online before. At the moment, to purchase a car, you just have to go on the website and purchase it there. But now you'll be able to properly see the car that is on display. There'll be two featured at one time, and you'll be able to go up to that window and purchase it instantly instead of having to wait for it to arrive from the website and everything like that. This is really nice to see, and it's something that we haven't had before in GTA Online. But obviously, players are a bit disappointed at the fact that you can't actually go inside of it, but it is still really cool. Rockstar haven't really talked much about this new car dealership, but we have seen a glimpse of it in the trailer. So a lot of players did expect it to arrive on day one, but unfortunately that isn't the case and we'll just have to wait. I have a feeling though this will be one of the first bits of content to arrive with the Criminal Enterprises DLC. I don't think they'll wait that long to put this into the game, simply because I think that when they release new cars, they'll want to showcase those new cars in the car dealership. But obviously that's just an assumption and we will have to wait and see. And that does bring us on to the new vehicles. Unfortunately, there won't be any new air vehicles. There is one new air vehicle with this update, and that is already in the game. But there is a lot of new cars arriving with this update. There is a total of 16 vehicles included with the Criminal Enterprises updates, but currently only 6 are actually in the game. Those are the Canada, Casita, Greenwood, LM87, Torero XO, and the Omnis EGT. And that comes to a total of $13,310,000. And there are still a lot of vehicles to come. Now, these do look really nice. They look like some cool vehicles, and obviously it is a shame that they're not all here on day one, but it is nice knowing that every week chances are we'll get a new vehicle. So that does mean that every time there is a weekly bonus, chances are there will be a new vehicle that arrives with that weekly bonus. But like I said earlier, I do think that the car dealership would arrive first, so these new vehicles can be put inside of the car dealership. And since there are 2 slots at the car dealership, I do think it's likely that they will put 2 new cars out at a time. This could be wrong, but I do think this is likely. So there are a lot of vehicles still to come. Now that is quite common. With most DLCs that GTA Online gets, Rockstar will usually have vehicles that aren't there on day one, but this time it is quite a lot of vehicles. So in a way that is a good thing, because it does give us reason to keep on coming back to the game. So now let's talk about the new metal detector. Now it is confirmed that a metal detector will be arriving with this update. Well, not confirmed by Rockstar, but confirmed by very, very reliable sources. So we will be getting a metal detector, and a lot of people expected this on day one, so did I, but we didn't actually get it on day one. And if you're wondering what the metal detector will be used for, it will be used for finding collectibles on Cayo Perico. So this does mean that we'll be getting a new strand of collectibles, and this is something that Rockstar will add later down the line. We don't really know what these collectibles will be or what they'll be used for, but chances are it will just be to get RP or something like that, and maybe you'll get $25,000 by collecting them all or something like that. It'll probably just be very similar to the other collectibles that we have in GTA Online already, like the action figures and everything like that. But the metal detector isn't in the game yet. But something interesting about this metal detector is that this is actually clarified as a weapon. So maybe you will be purchasing this from ammunition when it arrives, and maybe it'll be an attachment to a weapon or something like that. That'd be a bit weird. I don't know if that would be the case, but since it is classified as a weapon, then it's interesting to see how this will be implemented. So yeah, the metal detector is another piece of equipment that we can expect later down the line with the content from this Criminal Enterprises update. So next up, let's talk about skydiving. Now, skydiving seems to be something arriving with this update at some point, and there is also a collectible linked to the word skydive in the files. So this is interesting to see, and it does look like we'll be getting some sort of skydiving and parachuting adversary mode at some point, but this just hasn't been added yet. And there is also a collectible link to this, so maybe whilst you're skydiving down, there'll be collectibles you can collect, and then by collecting all of that, like I said earlier, you'll get $25,000 or something like that, and some RP. But this is interesting to see. So it does look like we'll be getting a new adversary mode of skydiving, And yeah, this isn't something we have at the moment, so it's nice to see this being new. And then there'll probably be a collectible link to it, so maybe this will be part of the adversary mode where if you skydive around, you'll have to try and catch the collectibles or something like that. But something weird about this is in the trailer we also see some parachuting, so maybe this is going to be parachuting, not skydiving, but then there is already parachuting in the game, so maybe there's going to be some more parachuting modes, maybe there'll be parachuting modes on Care Perico. It's hard to know exactly what they're doing here since Rockstar hasn't really spoken out about this, but it's likely something about skydiving or parachuting with a collectible link to it is going to happen. And chances are it'll be part of the drip-fed content for this Criminal Enterprises update. So it does look like part of the drip-fed content is going to be collectibles, which is something that we sometimes get with updates, so it's nice to see this in a way, and it does give players that have completed most of the game something to do. And it can be nice just having that thing on the side to do every now and then. You just collect a collectible, or sometimes you just run across one, so it is nice to have them there. Obviously, I'm sure within minutes of this being out, there'll be a map out with all the locations and everything like that, so you don't really have to worry about having to find everyone. You'll be able to look online and find the locations easily. But it is nice that we get some collectibles. Like I said, it does just give something to do. So a big thing that's missing on day one of the Criminal Enterprises update is the Care Perico races and adversary modes. As shown off in the trailer, we can see cars racing around Care Perico and what looks to be helicopters flying over it. This has had players very excited, considering right now all we can do on Care Perico is dance or do a heist. So it is nice that we're going to be able to do something else over there. But unfortunately, those races aren't here yet. They are also part of the drip feeds content. In terms of what races to expect, there's chances we could get the new parachuting and skydiving on Care Perico. I think that would be cool, and it'll be a nice way to implement the new adversary modes. And then we'll also get the classic stunt races, the races, everything like that. Maybe an open wheel race, except I don't think that would work with it being, you know, sort of sand everywhere. There is a road, but I don't think they put an open wheel race on there, to be honest. I think there will be off-road races, as we saw in the trailer, and also helicopter races and jet races like we saw going above Care Perico. So it's nice to see all of these additions coming to Care Perico, since right now, like I said, there's not really much we can do over there, and it sort of feels a bit pointless having the location. Other than for the heist, there really is no reason to go over to Care Perico. So that is all of the drip feed content we'll be getting. Obviously, there may be a few other things that players haven't found, and that would obviously be a nice surprise from Rockstar, but that is the main stuff that I think we'll be getting as of drip feed content with the Criminal Enterprises DLC. It is annoying that not much was actually given on day one, but at least we will be getting stuff slowly throughout weekly bonuses. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this content down in the comments. Personally, I'm looking forward to the races, especially the car dealership as well. And yeah, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content just like this. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.